Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the good old fashioned Philly Wrestling Podcast. My name is Rick Smooth. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of wrestlers from a lot of different organizations, and we're gonna do this because what I'm seeing right now is a lot of talent in a lot of different places. The talent that is there is all spread out in the wrestling world. I mean, there's a lot of talent there. Don't you know, don't take what I'm saying out of context. There's a lot of talent in the wrestling world, but the cream of the crop that are standing out to me, I've always had a good eye for wrestlers, for workers. I was a big Kurt Hennig fan growing up as a 5-year-old. So, I feel strongly about my taste in pro wrestling, and I want to mention a couple notables right off the bat. All right, so of course MJF, without a doubt, one of the best out there today. Dr. Britt Baker. I'm when it comes to social media and stuff, I've been on social media, and there was this picture of all these celebrities without teeth, and I did make mention that they should get sent to Dr. Britt Baker, to one of my boys who's not even watching wrestling these days, but it intrigued him and interested him, and he might have even checked out AEW since. I would say that Britt Baker is one of the top performers in the wrestling industry right now. I'm gonna jump around a little bit. Brian Pillman Jr. I just watched a little MLW on YouTube, and definitely another one of the up and coming superstars. I'm gonna also bring up from another league. I'm gonna bring up Nick Aldis from NWA Power. I've been watching NWA on TV lately, and it's been really cool. Been digging the freshness of it. We're gonna now switch over to the WWE, and I've heard a lot about Ricochet, getting his push taken away from him or whatever, and I just gotta say that I think Ricochet is one of the best guys they got. I'm now gonna jump over to Impact. I love Tessa Blanchard, but somebody who I love even more than Tessa Blanchard is Tiara Hogan. Another standout in all this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to AEW because they have this big women's match coming up next week. It's a 4-way dance, and I want to talk about Chris Statlander. Seeing Statlander and Britt Baker in there next week is going to be a treat because they are two of the up and coming women's superstars in the world of professional wrestling today. And now getting back to what I was talking about, is all of these different workers that I'm mentioning right now are all in different organizations. So what I would like to see happen is a lot of cross promotional kind of matches, and if you really want to mix it up too, you got guys on the indies. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely some notables in CCW, like Stefan Ramon, the Sexy Psycho, Adrian Bliss, Rob Noxious. The list goes on and on. Bro Keller, so Mr. Ping. Basically what I would like to see, sitting back and watching this stuff every week is I'd like to see a lot of mixing and matching with the talent rosters from different organizations. Like, okay, so AEW's got a TV deal, all right? I'd like to see them utilize the indies, bring through as many guys as they can, get a lot of guys involved, because that's just good for wrestling. The more guys you got, the more the industry thrives. I also want to mention Jake the Snake Roberts. The other day on AEW, he came out with the mask on, and it was so freaky looking seeing Jake Roberts with that mask on. I mean, that was when I knew that this whole thing is like all fucking straight out of a horror movie. Jake Roberts comes in, and he put the snake on Brandy Rhodes, and I really have to mention this. My social media post that night was Jake Roberts just snaked Brandy Rhodes while the whole entire world is shut down on national TV. So, That's where things are at right now in the world of professional wrestling. Is Jake Roberts is putting the snake to Brandy Rhodes on national TV while the whole world is shut down. That's all I'm gonna say for today. If I've forgotten some people, I'm trying to think, but I don't have any notes in front of me. I was just going off the cuff here with who I think are some of the talents in the world of professional wrestling. Teddy Hart is one too. Teddy Hart should be, WWE World Champion. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's got going on, but if he can do it, it would be great to see him as WWE World Champion. Another person that I want to talk about too is we just did an interview with Prince Nana the other day, and we interrupted him while he was eating sushi. And I want to say I'd love to see Prince Nana in AEW or WWE. I think he would be a great addition to either organization, or both. The way things are going and people are jumping around a lot. I would love to see Prince Nana in AEW or the World Wrestling Entertainment. Now, another guy, too, that I'm going to mention real quick before we get going, because I'm going to make this episode real short, is Brody Lee. Brody Lee, is his new gimmick and character is really over. I love it, man. And, he's becoming like the AEW version of either Sid Vicious or Kevin Nash or something like that. And he might not be as tall, but he's still pretty fucking tall, man. And that McMahon gimmick that he's got going on is working. So keep it up, y'all. This is Rick Smooth saying good night from the good old-fashioned Philly Wrestling Podcast. We will see you next time.